hi there, Stumbled here. In the distant past, the creator of Yai Gameworks, known at the time as Aesthetic Gamer aka Dusk Golem, had started a project that would light his vision for his main product. It was called Girls' Graveyard, and it would become Yai Gameworks' first big release, made for a horror game jam on itch.io. It was a game about collecting candy in a graveyard and giving the candy to your crush. Upon colliding with the ghost of Bat, the main character, Kiki would die. Already making the game somewhat dark, the game was originally made as a reimagining of an old 1990s game called Girls' Garden. Girls' Graveyard has many similarities with this game. Girls' Garden was a game about delivering flowers to your crush on a mountain. Bears attacked you instead of bats. There was also a strange mechanic, where if you didn't deliver the flowers to the boy in time, he would automatically lean towards another girl. Ryan Stanford overthought this and asked questions such as what if there was something more to these strange circumstances? After all, think about how weird that is. There's gotta be some crazy relationship between these characters. It was a masterpiece, originally made with RPG maker VX Ace. Ryan had even commissioned 16-bit chiptune tracks for the game via a composer. The Girls' Graveyard soundtrack still contains these main tracks to this day. All remakes of this game contain it. Collect candy in a graveyard and deliver it to the boy, or else. Unlike Girls' Garden, in this game you have rounds, and when round 4 is reached, the game will corrupt and change. The game heavily makes use of its pixel aesthetic to best show this, and makes use of something that will appear in a few other Yai Gameworks games. Aesthetic clashing. Metaphorical aesthetic clashing. The glitches, which progressively have been appearing up to round 4, clearly represent something that was never meant to happen. Something that Kiki could never have comprehended happening. The pixels themselves are a representation of Kiki's perfect world. The graveyard on Halloween, with all the wacky skeletons and zombies. But it all fell apart, starting with one glitch. The red hooded character. The red hooded character slowly closes in on the boy as the rounds progress, phasing through a solid wall to get to them. Much like how the boy automatically closes in on another girl in Girls' Garden. The glitch here represents how unnatural this is. After all, Girls' Graveyard is a game that overthinks unnatural, unexplained events in Girls' Garden. Imagine if you were the main character in Girls' Garden. How would you feel? No matter how hard you tried, they just kept going towards this other person. All it took was one mistake. Didn't deliver flowers once. What is showcased after round 4 is a surreal mashup of the thoughts within Kiki's head. The aesthetic gradually changes after this, from the iconic pixel art to more realistic, sometimes crayon drawings, and sometimes RPG Maker assets. This represents Kiki learning the truth. The game starts its major horror segments after this. Spoiler warning, play the game. Also don't forget to subscribe. Also don't forget to wishlist my game. Kiki is now subjected to dread-filled atmospheres and jump scares back to back. Scenes that make it hard to put together the events of Girls' Graveyard into any coherent story. Ignoring the game's many secrets, the game begins to come to a conclusion after this. The truth is, the graveyard was never real. It was all Kiki's perfect world. But maybe it is real at the same time. Maybe all the statements on this list are true, despite how they contradict with each other. The truth is, Kiki was just a normal girl who had a connection to the supernatural via her grandparents. One day, Kiki noticed the boy was drifting towards someone else. For a while, Kiki ignores this and pretends it isn't happening. Halloween starts, and something big happens. It isn't clear what exactly happened, but Kiki was left heartbroken from this, and using their connection to the supernatural, she summoned the grinning demon. Kiki's request was that for her to be with the boy forever. But the grinning demon took the request literally and trapped everyone in a time loop, which is where Kiki is now. Forever living out the same events over and over, reliving the same heartbreak over and over. Round 1 to 4 is both literal and metaphorical, just as all these statements on the list are true. You never solve most of the mysteries. Just like in Girl's Garden, the main character trapped in a hell forever, one where they just need to make one mistake, but it just loops back. That's why I consider this game a masterpiece. The actual gameplay itself can be quite challenging, and there has even been a super hard difficulty featuring a different Yai Gameworks game entirely. Subscribe!